and welcome to Unity News Profile. It's Thursday and big up to all the and the ones. We are so much grateful to the Lord for keeping us and bringing us back home when we left in the morning to our various workplaces. Today we are talking about entertainment. We have something interesting that we are going to discuss. And in the studio is a nurse. She has lots of experience when it comes to the current disease killing most people in Ghana, which is hepatitis B. She goes by the name of Ofosu. And hello, Miss Ofosu, you're welcome to News Profile.
Welcome. My name Ofosu Hima.
Thank you. That's the name Ofosu Hima. My bad. Please tell us something small about yourself before we delve into our main topic.
Oh, okay. I'm Ofosu Hima, as you said earlier on. Okay. Patients Ofosu Hima, a public health nurse, and a graduate nurse or something like this. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And then, yes, a public health nurse, which we do more of preventive healthcare and then outreaches and then all that comes with it. So we are basically, our main thing is taking the health to the street. It's not easy. People don't go to hospitals nowadays. They feel uneasy. They just don't want to go to hospital because you'll be in the line for a long time and all that.
So I've also heard that the World Health Hepatitis B is coming off on Sunday.
Yeah.
How true is it? Because I heard it and I'm not really...
Yeah, sure. I think every year is being celebrated on 28th of July. And this year it's yearly.
Oh, okay.
And this year it falls on Sunday. Okay. Which, I mean, it has to be...
So this coming Sunday, we are celebrating the World Hepatitis B.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are sponsored by Nali's Fashion Clothing. She's at Alajo adjacent Nasona Filling Station. We are streaming live from Cantonments Laboni, and our social media handles: Facebook is Unity Club, YouTube Unity Club GTV, and IG is Unity Club. Okay, let's delve more into our main topic for today, and it's hepatitis B. So, Miss Ofosu Hima, when we talk about hepatitis B, what do we mean?
I just don't want to go by the technical terms when it comes to health.
Okay.
Basically, everybody will say, as for health, when you go to health, we have the big terms. Sometimes they will be speaking and everybody will be sitting there like, what the hell are they talking about? I'm lost. So let me just do it in a normal way. Okay. Like maybe I'm talking to somebody who have not been to school before, yet the person wants to hear about it. Yeah. I know their hepatitis B is an infection of the liver. Okay. It's when the liver is infected. That is inflammation of the liver. Or let me put it that way.
Inflammation of the liver. Okay.
The disease of the liver, basically.
It's
so big. It's so big. So like disease of the liver disease. I mean that one is okay.
It's cool.
Liver
disease.
It's
okay.
Great. Yeah, liver disease. And mostly, the liver, we have major organs in the system.
Okay.
So we have the brain, we have the heart, we have the kidney, we have the liver, and then we have the reproductive organs. Yeah. So one of the major organs in the system is the liver, one of them. And then it serves as a sieve in our system. Whatever.
Sieve.
Yes. Okay. It toxify all the things that we normally eat. Yes. Okay. So if you have a problem with your liver, you're going to have a problem with your health.
So can I say, aside the heart, the liver too is a major system in our...
Oh yeah, body? I think I hardly heard about liver transplant, but I do hear of heart transplant and then kidney ones. But to talk of liver transplant, Italy, liver, how do I have
well,
that?
I realize it's in two types, which is hepatitis B and
it's more than
C.
two.
Oh really?
It's more than two. We have the B, we have the C, we have the A, we have the D, and somehow E.
Okay, so what I know is the B and the C. Is there any difference between them?
Yeah, it's not that big, but the whole thing is, the B is what is actually let me use the word. It's in the market now. Everybody is just taking it.
Yes,
No, I don't want to use common. It's in the market because now people don't even care about whatever they take in. They don't care about whatever we talk to them about it because it seems like, oh, sometimes you guys want to scare us. You don't want us to eat this. You don't want to touch that. So, okay. So it's the common one that is everywhere. The C somehow comes in maybe once in a while. When you take about 10 people, you find about 2 people with the C. Yes. Oh, okay. But for the B, it's just on the run.
Sure.
It's just
so,
on the run.
With HIV and AIDS and hepatitis B, which one is more dangerous?
I would say hepatitis B is dangerous. I would say hepatitis is dangerous.
It can be cured.
Which one?
Hepatitis B can't be
It depends. When you get to the chronic stage, it cannot. We have acute and then we have chronic. When you say something is acute, it just happens. Like you can have acute malaria. It can be cured. It can be cured. You have acute things. It's just like something that can be cleared easily. And then when you go to the chronic stage, there's nothing you can do about it. Everything is just spoiled. So when you get to a chronic, what we do is management. You manage the whole thing till you join your ancestors.
So how will one realize that I have hepatitis B? Is there any symptoms to show that this person has a disease?
A lot of symptoms. One major symptoms that you yourself you can even identify. I think 2. Let me specify into 2. There are others that unless you do the lab test, they will tell you, but the symptoms will still keep on coming. But the one thing, if you are too observant about yourself, you will know is the yellowish of the eye.
Okay, so your eyes become yellowish when you
yellowish. I mean yellowish. When I say yellowish, I mean yellow. Yeah. Yes. And then we have like tiredness. You work a little bit. It's something that you don't even know. You just work here and here.
More or less like a malaria.
No, malaria is different. Malaria is different. Malaria is not even a virus.
Okay.
Hepatitis B is a viral disease.
Okay.
And anything viral is non-curable.
Okay. So it means when you have this disease and you don't treat it on time, you cannot cure it in a years to come, or
yeah, because when it becomes acute, it can flash out from the system when your immune system is that strong. And then when you're able to get to it in the beginning, and then you start preventing yourself early. Maybe the viral load may be small, it wouldn't be that much, because when you are tested positive, you then just start treatment. You go to a series of tests. We have, you have to do viral load, you have to do a liver function test to see whether the liver is affected, and then the virus, how like the quantity we have in the so that we call it the viral load. There are a lot of things you need to run through. So when they think it's not that close to the liver that is causing damage, they can just try and give some vitamins or maybe the drugs for it to just cure the whole thing. And by the time you realize you are out. But when you don't know and then you get to a certain stage of it, then it comes to stay with you and then you are with it.
You are watching Unity News Profile. Today we are talking about hepatitis B as a health segment. This program is brought to you by Nali's Fashion Clothing. She designs beautiful outfits for weddings, engagements, any event. She has accessories too. She will dress you very nicely. Okay, hepatitis B has come to stay with us. Is there any ways to prevent it, like prevention for it?
Yeah, there are preventions. There are preventions. And then let me emphasize on this. You know, we have ways of spreading. Or ways of transmission. Let me use the word transmission, which we ought talk about sexual stuff is there that we talk about, because like as you were asking me the question about between HIV and hepatitis B, which I considered most dangerous, then I will tell you hepatitis B, because the HIV deals with blood and then semen, which unless I cut myself open and then you cut yourself open, but for hepatitis B, you know, the sweat, the tears, like
the sweat and the tears.
Of course. It's just any fluids that come out from the body. You understand the whole thing.
So supposing you sit in a trust
and
someone
of
comes
course.
to sit by you.
They just sit by you and then they'll be like, shift.
Jesus.
And then they start with pushu. By the time you realize all the sweat all over you. And then if you have that kind of pulses, like, it be easily, it's easy for you to just be infected. And then I don't think it's just right there. The virus, the way they multiply, of course. So when they just enter the system, they find a way of entering. They just have to take their time to find a place to live and they start multiplying. So that's why I will tell you, Hepatitis B to me is more dangerous.
It's
Because the way of transmission is
so easily
fast.
It's so easy.
Great. And then we have people who were born with it.
Seriously?
Yes. Like a parent.
Okay.
If you don't know, nowadays, when you are pregnant and you go to hospital, whether you like it or yes, you have to test for it. It's like they have made HIV compulsory. When you are pregnant, you test for HIV. So you'll be tested for hepatitis B too.
Well.
So if the mom is positive,
Okay.
as soon as the baby is born, I think you start taking some vitamins. So as soon as the baby is born, you will not breastfeeding the baby. They will start, they will give, we have immunoglobulin, some injections we need to give to the baby right in as soon as the baby comes out.
Okay.
So we just give the injection to the baby and
Prevents.
then, yes, to prevent the baby, even though the baby may suck the mom's breast.
Supposing the husband has it and the wife doesn't, can they transfer it to the baby? This one is not the mother who is having it, the father.
Mechanical, like it depends. Yeah, it's flues, it's sermons. By all means, if my husband has that, I may get that.
So,
because we have sexual intercourse.
But there are medicines that means that they can put you, the lady, on. If your husband is having, they can put
The only thing that I won't get is when I'm tested negative and then I take the immunization, like I take the vaccines and then my immunity has been built on that 10 years. Then I can just, I don't want to say some words.
Oh, go on.
Oh yeah, I mean what I actually mean is if my husband is positive and I have taken injection and then I can't be infected. I'm on my free way. Like I just do all the things that I want to do with him.
Sure.
I won't be infected, and my baby will be safe.
Okay, Mr. Hema, right now hepatitis B is rampant in the system now, and then what should we do as the youth to secure ourselves from this disease?
Yeah. The first thing first, get yourself screened. I don't think it's expensive. If you go to most of the government hospitals, 5 cities.
Okay.
I can't talk of the private ones, but for the government ones, I know the highest should be like 5 to 10 cities.
Okay, for just the testing.
Yeah, just for the testing. If you test and then you are negative, all you need to do is to go for immunization, which is in 3 stages.
Okay,
The first, you take first, and then the next 28 days, then you take the second shot. Then from the first to the third, from the first month you took to next 6 months, you can take the third dose.
Okay.
Normally, I make people take it, just follow 20, 20, 28, and then you are done. And when you take it, it will protect you for 10 years. And then
nice.
it protects you for 10 years, maybe a year or 2, you can go for 1 shot. We call it a booster. And that can take you for life.
That is when you have it. When you have it.
No, when you don't have it.
What about if you have it?
If you have it, all that you need to do, as I said earlier, earlier when I was like, you need to go for further tests to know where the viral load is, and then all the function, the liver, how everything is in the system. Because sometimes when the liver is failing, the kidney too goes with it. They work together.
Yeah.
As the mechanism of the whole thing, I think, has to be with the viruses. They live in the liver, and then the liver is a kind of a sieve. I don't know, like a sonny and your money also in our system. So if the machine that is working in that way got spoiled in the midst of it, what are you going to do?
Nothing. But I'm dying.
So normally, those people who have chronic hepatitis, when they come to the hospital, they can't have normal urine because everything is just stuck in the liver. So they have their stomach like that. I don't know whether you've come across, let me use a drunkard.
Okay.
Have you seen a drunkard with a pot belly?
Yeah.
Don't use a woman because they will think the woman is pregnant. Pregnant for 3 years or 2 years. No, like it goes to the men. You say, will be a fry kakra. Don't go and tell me somebody sugar daddy is hepatitis B. I mean the drunkard people. Normally, this is the people you see. So when actually you are at the chronic stage, you have oedematus. That is your legs, swollen legs. You will like your face, everything will be swollen, the system, and then your tummy is like this. When it gets to this stage, I remember myself and one Dr. Jima, we had a patient like that, and then we have to put a cannula. We have the ash one, just through here to the liver. We just put it in the liver. So that is how we normally drain it. because it's like always he has. I think she was she. Yeah, she was she. Let me use that one. Actually, she was a female, so
Okay.
it's like it was like that. So whenever we drain it, then it becomes a little bit. When
Smaller.
in the morning, she has to come so that we take off again. So that is how we were doing it till she died. There's nothing you can do because
Wow.
if we don't drain those things out, by the time you realize, it will just all the system will just freeze because nothing comes out from the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So as I was saying, they have to test.
Okay.
You test if you are positive, there's a way out to see how it will. If you are negative, then you go for immunization to protect yourself.
Okay.
I know since it is hepatitis B, that is on 28th, a lot of all NGOs who are just targeting this hepatitis, they will be doing free screening. Okay. Even if you have no idea, I know about Ochame Kwame.
Yeah.
Ochame Kwame is one also fighting, one ambassador for hepatitis.
Okay, so we are wrapping up, but before we go, you see, there has been some instances where if someone is being accused, like HIV positive or negative, and then they are like, you won't go closer to the person.
Stigmatization.
Yes. So has it been any instance that if someone also gets the hepatitis B, it's being ignored like that?
You know the funny thing? Hepatitis B is more dangerous. People don't fear it. What they fear most is HIV. And so that is, when you talk of stigmatization, it's HIV. But I don't think people, I haven't experienced that hepatitis B stuff, unless it has the chronic stage where they have the protruding of the stomach and all those, when you see the scary symptoms, then people will be like, what is wrong? What the hell is this? Yeah. So they start abstaining. They can come to you, they can even kiss you, hug you with that. That is where the danger is. Yeah. For that, it's fine. But HIV, that is where normally the stigmatization is. But I don't think, I haven't experienced, I have come across a lot of them. I do a lot of community screening. I do a lot of so many things. But I haven't come across somebody telling me they've been stigmatized because they have hepatitis B. Okay. Maybe I'm yet to.
Okay. So please, fear hepatitis B most instead of HIV/AIDS, because I think that one is more dangerous according to our public health person. We are wrapping up, and then this program was brought to you by Nala's Fashion Clothing. She does beautiful outwears for any event at all, beautiful accessories. She's at Alaju, adjacent at Solar Filling Station. We stream live from Cantonment, Laboni, and our media handles remain Facebook Unity Club, YouTube Unity Club GHTV, and then IG Unity Club. My name is Benisobe. My beautiful guest was Miss Ohima Ufosu. It's a bye.